to Nicole's Needlework. Today is Sunday, December 22nd, and it's right around 1:45 p.m. This is a podcast about stitching and knitting, although I don't have any knitting to share today. Well, I do, I take that back. I have yarn stash to share. I don't have actual knitting to share. Well, I take that back again. I do have a tiny bit of knitting to share. I'm coming to you right outside of Charleston, South Carolina. It's gray, rainy day. It's about 50, not too cold, but just kind of a good day to sit inside and stitch. I wasn't going to do a video till after the holidays, but I do have a little bit to share, so I thought doing laundry, housework, so I thought I'd just do a quick video. Okay. So I have one big finish, and I will show that. I got Ann Rayner finished. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. This is on 40 count vintage light exemplar by Lakeside Linens. I use Paulette Stewart's conversion. It can be found on her blog, Plum Street Samplers blog. I will post a link below. But yeah, I love stitching this. So all those little sheep are over, the baby sheep are over one. The people's faces and the woman's arms and legs are over one, and chest. And then there was a little alphabet here that was over one, and I did full stitches. A lot of times I'll do 10 stitch or half stitches when I'm doing alphabets, but for this one I insanely decided to do full stitches. And then I messed up because this alphabet is supposed to be a 4-sided stitch, which is not a cross stitch. You basically do kind of like a back stitch all around each square, so it looks like a little block, and I didn't read the directions. And that's the second time I've done that on Isabella Fox, which I will get. I know many of you are doing this as a stitch along starting in January, so it's a good time to share it. Sorry for the glare. And Isabella Fox also has a 4-sided stitch down here on the bottom. All these words are supposed to be 4-sided. Yeah, I didn't read those directions either, so. But I love this sampler, and this is the Attic Silk Conversion on 40 count vintage sand dune. So, and I got this framed at Stitch and Frame Shop. So, and they did a beautiful job. So, another one I didn't follow directions on, and I contemplated taking it out, but really it wouldn't have made a huge difference, so I left it in. But I worked on this quite a bit when I was in DC in the airport, and the one day my husband had to work, I stayed home because it was cold and rainy there, and just worked on this. So happy this is finished, and I definitely want to get that framed. So while I was in DC, first stop was In Stitches. I was looking for linen, and Lakeside Linen is really hard to find lately. I think the dyer is having health issues, or her mother's someone's having health issues, which you can't fault them for. It's just getting harder to find. It's just how it is. So I thought maybe they might have some. They had mainly like 32 counts. Nothing I was really interested in. So what I ended up doing is getting some silk threads. for Ann Thomas. So I didn't get all of them. I have a few more on order from 123 Stitch, and they will be here tomorrow. But in this one, I am going to do, now, vintage exemplar isn't as hard to find as the light exemplar. So I'm going to do these on the vintage exemplar, which I think will be so pretty. So, not sure when I'll start that, but sometime. And then my silks for Elizabeth Weston arrived. They were not lost. They were delivered the next day. They're so pretty too. And that's Elizabeth Weston again. I love the pinks and the reds. And I'm also most likely going to stitch this on the vintage exemplar by Lakeside Linens. So very pretty. And then last time I did a video, I was talking about the Uffendale sisters and how excited I was. Well, I had gotten a message from Carol saying she would like to send me the chart, the original charts, and I was blown away. Carol Softlock Stitcher, and you know, I said, what can I do in return? She said nothing, it's just an early Christmas present, and she just was feeling like she wanted to do these random acts of kindness for people, which is an awesome idea. I love it. So when I got back, or no, I take that back. Before I left for DC, this came in the mail. And it's the original booklet with both charts, which I'm just so ecstatic to have in my collection. And I started collecting some silks, and I got a couple more that I needed in DC, so I have all the silks. And now I really like the thread drops, but I found it kind of, my threads get a little fuzzy, silk threads, when I'm using them, so I think I might go back to floss away bags for the Soie d'Alger. But they're so pretty. So I would really like to do Anne first. I just love this basket here. It's just so beautiful. So I put on 123 Stitch whenever they got more vintage light exemplar in to send me an email. Well, they sent an email saying it was in stock. I ordered it, and then it said it wouldn't ship till January something. And I really want to start this on Christmas Day. I think it would be a great sampler to start, since it was a Christmas present from Carol. I thought it would be really nice to start it on Christmas Day. So I was looking at my LNS's website and saw they got some R&R 40 count creme brulee in. And I thought that might be really pretty to use for Anne. So I went up there Friday night, and I love that they're open late during the week, and it just makes it so convenient for me because I work, and Somerville is like 30 minutes away. So anyway, I think this is going to be really pretty on here. So I'm really excited to start this on Christmas Day. she also surprised me because she told me she was sending me the chart with both, the booklet with both charts in it, but she said there was another little surprise in there, and it was this beautiful shaker box made by her husband. And there's the, you can see, Saltbox Woodworks Shaker Reproductions, and it says Michael Whitchurch 2019. So I was just blown away by this. It's so pretty. And here's their little card, isn't it cute? And they have a website, saltboxwoodworks.com. Get it to focus. Doesn't want to focus. But I will post a link below. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? And then I keep forgetting to ask Carol what this is, but I will have to ask her, or maybe she can let me know after I do this video. It's got a magnet, and then this was holding that, so I don't know. Maybe it's a chart holder. I don't know what it's for, so please let me know, but it's beautiful. And his signature again. And then inside was this beeswax. Isn't that cool? So thank you so much, Carol. You don't know how much this meant to me. I love it all. So thank you again. And I did post a link to the GoFundMe page for Carol's daughter. So it's a great cause. If you have a charity you donate to around Christmas, that would be a great cause. And Carol told me her daughter is doing great. So as great as can be, I guess I should say. All right, so went to DC. First stop was In Stitches. Got the silks for Ann Thomas and a couple charts from their sale basket. So I've always loved this, Miriam Brocklehurst. It's a beautiful sampler. And it's from 1726. That's a long time ago. So beautiful, beautiful sampler. And then Me and You by Lottie Da. After seeing Carolyn's finish from Stash Sisters, love this. So then we went to Looped Yarn Works. It's in DuPont Circle. Very, very cute yarn shop. DuPont Circle is such a cute neighborhood in DC. They were having a market, like a farmer's market going on at the time, and we browsed through there, ate lunch. I really wanted everything. They had bread, gorgeous looking bread, and so that was a lot of fun. I didn't get anything at Looped, and then we ended up going to Fiberspace later on, and I did get stuff from Fiberspace. So I just got a skein of Ultra wool. This is just Barocco basic wool, and I think I'm gonna make a cowl. They had a lacy, really pretty cowl there. I don't know how well this will work for it, but I can always make something else if it doesn't. And then they have these kits that are packaged so cute for this hat by Blue Sky Fibers. It's 21 color slouch kit. So, and they have a little pattern in the back. Isn't that cute? So, cute. So the hat I was making for Jake's girlfriend, I finished, which is why I don't really have any knitting to share. He said she liked it. I don't know. I think it turned out kind of cute, but who knows, teenage girls. And then I've got Miss Babs Yowza. Hold on. The tag is buried in there. So this is Miss Babs, and it's a DK weight, and it's called Miss Babs Yowza DK yarn, and there is 560 yards in here, and this is called Zombie Prom. Not really my colors, but Diane of Suburban Stitcher knit a brickless shawl using this, and I loved how hers turned out, so I'm copying her. And whoops, and I started just a tiny bit, so that's all the knitting I have to share. I started this in DC. It's kind of a funky shawl, different textures, different patterns, but I think it'll be pretty. And then I just got, I love these bags. So I just got another one of these pretty cheap bags. Pretty cheap project bags. So I have the pink one and the blue one, and now this gold one. And they have like a light green one. So cute, and you can wash these and they're great. And then Fiberspace gave me this cute bag, so love that. Love Fiberspace. It is the cutest yarn shop. I mean, I could stay in there all day. So after I finished Anne Rayner, I was kind of, I don't know, just kind of unsure of what to work on. So I pulled out a few different projects. I got out Elizabeth Furnace, 1836 again. And I really didn't do much. I just did a little more of the border, but I wanted to show these threads again. And these are DMC, and I'm sticking with the DMC for this project. I really think these are pretty. And then this is 40 count vintage country mocha by Zweigart that I tea and coffee dyed and baked in the oven. That side is more mottled, and this side is a little more less mottled. But this is the country mocha side. So like that Zweigart is like painted. It's like a painted pattern that they put on their country mocha. So anyway, I think this will be really pretty. So I do want to get back to this and get some more. All I've worked on is the border. That's going to be so pretty. And a lot of people ask me where I get these bags. I think that's the most frequent question I get. And these are from the Container Store. And they're about $2.99 for this size. I think they have 3 different sizes. And this is like the 10 by 13 size. And I like these. I really like these bags. And I've gotten other bags, other places, other shops and stuff, but these are the Container. They have this color in black. The Container Store does. So, let's see. I also got back out, here's the black one from the Container Store. They have these little zipper pulls. So I also got back out Mary Betchel by the Scarlet House. This is so pretty. And I didn't really work much, just worked on some of these little leaves and flower stems. This is so pretty. And this is vintage exemplar, but it looks more like sand dune to me. So that was all, that's 40 count. And then I'm using almost all the called for silks for those, except instead of like, I think this is supposed to be icing, I just have a needlepoint ink in there. And then Mary Good, I don't think I really worked on Mary Good that much. No, I did a tiny bit. So I got that little deer stitched. And that was all I did on Mary Good. And this is 40 count vintage lentil by Lakeside Linens. And I'm using the Avera Soie d'Alger. And these I have in my thread drops, and they don't look too bad. They are a little fuzzy. So, I don't know. I go back and forth. I love the convenience of just pulling a strand off and using it, but I also want the silks to stay nice. So, I don't know. That's Mary Good. And then, so when I went up to Fire Poppies, I decided to get this cute little chart. And I was looking on Brenda's Instagram, and I didn't realize how teeny tiny this actually is, because it looks much bigger. She did a little video of all her little Christmas finishes. So I have some of the 28 count mushroom Lugana that I was planning on using it. And then in there she says to dip the Lugana in walnut crystal or coffee and tea to give it a little more contrast. So I decided I want to do that before I start stitching. But I had all the thread, well, I went and got a few threads from Fire Poppies. And I thought I had the Weeks Dye Works, but I'm out of Hunter. And this green is pretty close to Hunter, but these are so pretty. So this will probably be a next year start. Or maybe if I'm feeling ambitious, I'll start it. I don't think I am though. So then I was kind of wanting a new start since I finished Anne Rainer. And I decided to start Jane Stanwyck's by 1843. And I was going back and forth as to which fabric I should use. So they sent, I believe it was, let's see. So I got this kit from the Country Sampler, and they do their own conversion. They did their own conversion for this. And they sent with it 36 count cocoa. Not sure where I put that linen. So it's a dark linen, and I kind of wanted to use something dark, but 40 count. So I decided to go with 40 count vintage meadow rue. And I stitched a little bit last night and I'm like, oh, I don't know, it might be too dark. But I think it's going to be pretty. And I'm copying Susan on Instagram, Susan_414. She used a white in there. So I think I'm gonna do this eggshell. But I think I'm gonna just go with it. Even though it's a little dark, I think it's gonna be really pretty. And this linen, I think this is the linen my friend Amy from Down Sunshine Lane gave me several years ago for my birthday. So it's an older dye lot of meadow rue. But it's really pretty. So this is what I've been working on today. And then I've been watching Farm Girls Vlogmas videos, which are great. And she's talking about doing a stitch along in January or February now, because the chart is hard to get, for Harriet Elizabeth Coe. And I've had this for a while now. And I actually started it a while ago. And this is on Vintage Light Exemplar. And I was thinking of converting some of the threads, and I actually had pulled a bunch of threads, but I didn't write them down, which was kind of dumb of me. I don't know. But I really would like it to look more like the cover. So this one I'm thinking about what threads to use. And here's just a few that I pulled. So I think I'm gonna leave, so this calls for endive and pomegranate, and I think I'm gonna stick with that. I think I had done cherry bark or something, but I think I'm just gonna go with the pomegranate. Just take out that. And then instead of Swiss chocolate, I think I'm gonna use caper. Because this is the Swiss chocolate here, and I think caper's a pretty good match to that. And then the words, I think I'm gonna do onyx. Which is just black, so I think I'm gonna do those in onyx. And then this light, I might use like a seafoam, I think, no, seafoam is what I think, is that what it's called for? Sorry, yeah, seafoam is what it's called for. So I may just stick with that, even though it's a little darker. I think it's really pretty. Yeah. So I think I'll stick with that. And instead of brandy, I think I'm gonna use this caramel corn for the little flowers here. In here, and there's two different colors. There's like a pink and a brown, but I think I might just do caramel corn for all of them. So we'll see. We will see how this turns out. There's like some pink in there. Don't know about the purple. I'm not a big fan of purple in my stitching, so we'll see. I might just, I think, where is the purple? Somewhere in here there's purple, because this is the front. So on the back, let me see if I can find it. So there's the back of the sampler. So I think it's in this letter right here, the O. And that might be okay if there's just a little bit of purple. So I'll get this figured out eventually. If you haven't watched Farm Girls videos, Vlogmas videos, go check them out because they're really cute. Her husband and her son and her daughter are in them. And her dogs and her goats and her chickens. So they're really, really cute. Cute videos. Hey again, everyone. I just realized there is one thing I forgot to share. First, Ginger, right there. Ginger. And then I forgot to share that I finally finished the eyelet band on Dorothy Walpole by the Scarlet Letter. So I got this back out, and man, am I so glad this band of eyelets is done. I never thought I would be finished with that. And then I started over here on the over one. So I decided not to do 10 stitch again, and I'm kind of wondering if that was the right decision. Soie d'Alger is thicker than MPI, which is, or the Gloriana or Belle Soie, which is what I was using on Anne Rainer. But it is pretty. So yay, I got this done, and I would love, love, love to get this finished. So I may concentrate on this until it's done. And again, this is Dorothy Walpole by the Scarlet Letter. That's the chart. So I'm up to here working on this, and then there's more eyelets in there. That's all right, not as many. And then I have to do some satin stitches and stuff in the flowers. So I'll be so excited. And these are Soie d'Alger, like I said. And I have these in Flossway bags. And I think they are less fuzzy in the bags. So I may go back to doing that again. And this is 40 count vintage pecan butter by Lakeside Linens that I'm using. So the dryer just buzzed, and I gotta get back to folding laundry, and I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas again and a very Happy New Year, and I will see you in a couple weeks.